This is Splinter Cell Blacklist. Ubisoft had a very simple objective with Blacklist. They wanted to bring the series back to its roots, to more heavily focus in on stealth, yet at the same time keep those Splinter Cell Conviction fans that were brought on board with the last game. And for the most part, they've succeeded. Although not all the time. There are times where the series, well, not the series, but the game feels like it's going through sort of an identity crisis. And this is because during certain missions you are forced to either use stealth or to basically survive an onslaught. However, when the game does open up and allows you the freedom to pick and choose how you want to tackle different missions, it's absolutely brilliant. The mark and execute system from the previous game returns. This is whereby you can highlight a couple of enemies, and then as long as you've killed one with a melee attack or just shot him in the head or something like that, you can basically press one button and then execute all the enemies that you've marked that are close by. The reason why you have to do a stealth takedown or another sort of like takedown is because otherwise you'd be, overly overpowered, which would be kind of ridiculous. I love the new and old gadgets. One of the coolest ones that they've added is sort of like a drone, and it's really useful, especially if you're playing like a ghost and you don't want to be seen, because you can use the drone to mark different enemies. You can use it as an EMP bomb, or better yet, just as a way of looking ahead. And this is extremely important on the higher difficulty settings. I really enjoyed the nice mission variety. You don't even play as Sam in some of them, which is really cool. Well, certain sections anyway. There's first-person missions or sections. There's just a whole wide variety of different scenarios that play out, but I don't really want to spoil everything for you guys. I really enjoyed the new hub system, which is basically... The game no longer has menus, per se. Instead, everything's been retrofitted into the Paladin, which is 4th Echelon's mobile base of operations. And so what you do is you can walk Sam around talking to different characters, and that's how you can actually upgrade your equipment, your stealth suit, your guns, things like that, or the plane itself. And if you upgrade the plane, what's really cool with that is it allows you allows Sam to actually improve his core abilities, such as regaining health, things like that. But you can also move Sam around and take a look at this special map system or whatever, and that's where you pick not only the single player missions, but your co-op missions and competitive multiplayer missions. And I don't know, I really like that. The only downside to it is that your initial load time is extremely long. It feels like it's 2 minutes or longer, but I don't quite think it's that long. Speaking of co-op missions, one of my favorite features from Conviction, the previous game, was the co-op missions, and they all return. And these are specialty missions that some can be completed by yourself, but a lot require a buddy. And what these do is they charge you with doing certain things. So for example, there'll be stealth heavy ones which require you to, say collect X, Y, and Z without setting off a single alarm. Then there'll be other ones where it'll be sort of like, wave after wave of enemies and you have to survive. Whatever the mission is, communication is absolutely key, or you're never going to survive. And the competitive multiplayer is also a blast. The famous Spies versus Mercs mode is back, and it's just as fun as ever. 2 of you guys play as spies in the third-person viewpoint, whereas the other 2 are mercenaries in first-person, and it just allows for a great game of cat and mouse. I've really enjoyed it. There's also a team deathmatch and conquest mode that are both fun to play. Now, no matter what you do in the game, you earn cash. And cash is used in the various upgrades I mentioned before. And I like that because it fits. You know what I mean? Like, this new hub system really brings it all together. So, it makes sense. Like, you just did a co-op mission, bam, now you're back on the Paladin, and you can use your money and upgrade your weapons and load out or your suit, and then jump in a single-player campaign, and then jump back into competitive multiplayer. I really enjoyed the way they had set this up. It's just a shame that it takes so damn long to load right off the bat. Audio-visual presentation is very impressive in one regard and alright in another. The music is really good. I really enjoyed it. I found the musical score was great. Sound effects were top notch. Voice acting was all Hollywood level. Everyone sounded serious, sounded really good. I really enjoyed it. However, graphically, some aspects, especially environmental effects and the level design, excellent. However, I don't know, I found that the core characters themselves look low res compared to Conviction, but I haven't played Conviction in a while, so maybe I'm just making that up. I thought the storyline was okay, but not great. Just because essentially it boils down to a group of terrorists demand the United States removes all their troops from foreign soil, or else they're going to get attacked every couple of days. And I don't know, I just felt that it was like, well, you know, we've played through this before, haven't we, in like a million other games? But whatever. And now the big thing that I know a lot of you are wondering about, and I was too, was Sam Fisher. He's no longer voiced by the awesome Michael Ironside. Instead, new lead man Eric Johnson. I find he does a good job, but he's trying too hard to not make a raspy voice, but just to be serious. And I find he comes off as angry or edgy like all the time. And I didn't find it I don't know, it just didn't mesh well with the rest of the characters. Bottom line is I miss Michael Ironside, I guess. And yeah. And about one of the only major negatives outside of what I've already mentioned is the fact that I didn't really like the way Sam felt so damn weak. I mean, I understand the game's trying to give you options, right? Like, it's clear they want to put more of a focus back on stealth than on action, but you are giving us the opportunity to kill everyone in the game if we want, right? Well, how is it that every single, like, basic guard can take 6 shots to the chest, but you can take 1 or 2? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just found Sam really underpowered compared to everyone else, and that wasn't, I don't know, I'm more of the type of guy who I like being able to shoot guys and then hide off in the distance. I'm not one of those guys that really digs all these stealth type games, so that's just my own personal opinion. You might be totally different. One thing I should also mention, some of the missions, the way they're broken down is they'll have multiple objectives for you to do. And one such mission in particular I found super annoying right near the end of the game. I had to find 3 computer terminals and hack them, and this was part of a larger mission, okay? But there was no save or checkpoints or anything after you secured each individual computer terminal. And you know how annoying it is after you get 2 of the 3 and you see the 3rd one, and then you just happen to get spotted and bam, because like really, if you get spotted in this game, it's pretty much an instant death. Like, yes, there's ways of getting away, but it's very rare. So it was really annoying. Like in this particular situation, I would pretty much have to redo half an hour of gameplay, and that got a little frustrating. So, bottom line, what do I think of Blacklist? When the game opens up, like I said before, and gives you the freedom to choose how you want to tackle the different mission objectives, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant, because I'm the type of guy I love to use stealth and action, right? But when it forced me to use only action, or it forced me to use stealth, that's where, I don't know, I found it had its identity crisis. For the full written review, hit up projectcoe.com. It includes the score as always. And thank you very much for watching, and take care of yourself.